these are not speculations. I'm literally reading off the page. And people sit back and go, well, they certainly wouldn't be doing that. Well, I don't know. How are we doing so far? Our batting average so far is I've been right about these things every single time.
Yeah.
The only intervention we can do is to actually make sure we get ahead of the story so it becomes difficult for the story to be plausible.
What we need to do right now, because I know that our viewers, and I know that there's people out there that if they had access to this information, and I love what you're saying, Dr. Martin, about sharing this out as much as possible. We need to equip them with the best talking points for this that are absolutely on point here, which are in this pamphlet that we have. Thank God we have our hands on it. It was hard to get it there for a second, and we had to, I know Stephanie had to look for it and find it because it seemed like it was being kind of erased from certain
places. They've been trying to take it offline ever since I did my Shannon Joy show. Yep.
So we're not being paranoid. They actually are trying to get rid of this thing. It was quite a find. So Stephanie did finally find it, and we got it. So the one you just held up earlier, I just think it's important our viewers see this. So I'm going to just bring this up. So this is the blueprint. This is it. This is from April 2024. You spoke about the setting the date for this thing. I want to go to the page that has that date, the July 4th warning of when this is going to go down. Because I want to be able to tell people like this is how they do this. We have event 201 to show us the original blueprint of how they plan something out, and they set a stage for it. So
well, and remember, if you go through the list of names, go ahead and pull down. What you're doing is great, and just pull down a little further, and what you'll see is at the first page they have this scenario, which is there you go, right there, 280,000. So July 4th, 2025, bioterrorist attacks of July 4th, 2025. They say they're not going to know who did it. They're not going to know any of those things. But guess what? Here's the tiny little problem. If you go up to the list of names and you go through the list of names who are the scientific advisors on this particular event scenario, we actually know who the weapon maker is.
Yeah.
He's outed in this document. Right there, if you go down through the list of the ex officio members, what you find out is the ex officio members, several of them are veterinarians and bioweapons BSL lab runners who are actually working on equine encephalitis. They're working on all sorts of other weaponized systems. And if you look at people like Gerald Parker and George Post right here on your screen, and you find out what they've been doing and what they've been weaponizing, we actually have a high probability of knowing what pathogens they're looking at. And so, and given the fact that they said it's going to be a combined human and veterinarian event, right there, the ex officio members, Gerald Parker, George Post, if you go through that whole list of ex officio members, we actually have all kinds of potential liabilities. We have Nipah virus being suggested. We have a bunch of other things that are in this. And if you read the research they've had funded, we know that the encephalitis risk is high. We know that the Nipah risk is high. We know that hemorrhagic fevers are high. And this is stuff that we don't even have to guess. This is just like Event 201, right? They use the coronavirus image in Event 201, and people go, how did they guess it was going to be coronavirus? Well, they didn't guess. It was their scenario. They laid it out. So Matt, what you're doing is priceless, right? It's priceless. The fact that somebody can put into writing the bioterrorist attacks of July 4th, 2025, which is a date in the future where they say 280,000 Americans, 400,000 infected, 200,000 animals, 800,000 sickened, dead on a day. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're not paying attention, you're just asleep. So the issue that we're pointing at is that there's so many people who think that somebody else will do it, right? One of our biggest problems is we're waiting for saviors.
Yes.
And we fail to understand we are being called on to take action. It's a daily exercise. And what I encourage people to do is daily share this content, get it to different people. Talk to you, the same person who hit you up for a political donation, tell them that you won't write another check until they do something with it. Like, use the tools you have to increase and amplify the message. That's the critical piece.